Hello, student. How are you? I think you are fine. Can you remember the up to the last class what we have discussed? That was the shear force and bending moment. Today onward, I am introducing a new chapter: kinetics of rigid body. First, what do you understand by kinetics? The mechanics broadly have two categories: kinetics and kinematics. Kinetics means along with the mechanical displacement, acceleration, velocity, all this motion parameter, we also are interested about the force that causes the motion. Then it is the kinetics. On the other hand, if only we are interested about the motion and motion parameters but not the related force, then it is the kinematics. So today I am starting kinetics, means the motion along with the parameters, along with the force, and it is the kinetics of rotational rigid body. In case of rotational rigid body, the parameter that is required to cause rotation is the torque. From the Newton's second law, we know the force causes change of linear momentum. Similarly, the angular momentum, if there is a change of angular momentum, that caused by the applied torque. Angular momentum is angular velocity into mass moment of inertia. It is equivalent to m into v. In case of linear momentum, you know, in case of linear momentum, mass into velocity. Linear velocity is the linear momentum. Similarly, here it is the angular momentum, angular velocity, and the equivalent of mass in angular motion, that is mass moment of inertia. Along with that, we are also discussing here the mass moment of inertia of the object and conservation of momentum here in this chapter. So now let's start the topic.
In the kinetics, we are starting with angular momentum about a point. For any parameter or rotational variable in angular motion, there is an equivalent of linear motion. The linear motion parameters are, say, displacement, the velocity, acceleration, mass. All these are the parameters for linear motion. You know, there is a relation between these motions. Here it is given that linear, let's consider the displacement of a particle or a body is s. Then you know the velocity means ds by dt, the time derivative of the displacement. Now if omega is the angular speed or angular velocity, then this linear velocity also can be written as v into omega r, where r is the radius of rotation. So equivalent parameter of this linear velocity here is angular velocity, whereas in case of angular motion, the displacement is theta, the what angle it displaced. So if we are going to compare the parameters, then the linear displacement s is equivalent to angular displacement theta. Note it, that it is equivalent, not similar things, because this unit of this theta is in degree, and here it is the meter in MKS system for the displacement. So these parameters, whatever we have compared here, these are the equivalent parameter, linear to rotational system. Right side is the rotational system and this is the linear. Linear means it is moving on a straight line. Similarly, linear acceleration means it is the time derivative of velocity, means dv by dt. Substituting v here, we are getting d square s by dt square. And we are having that this a is r into alpha, for alpha is the angular acceleration. So corresponding to the linear acceleration, here alpha is the angular acceleration. So what is angular acceleration? D omega by dt. That is equals to d square theta by dt square. So find the equivalent equations. Here it is dv by dt, means time derivative of linear velocity. Here it is time derivative of angular velocity. Mass, according to the Newton's second law, the force applied P or F equals to m into a, mass into acceleration. We know this. If it is the linear acceleration caused by a parameter, then there is an equivalent parameters of this mass, that is called mass moment of inertia. In details, in the subsequent lectures, I will discuss this mass moment of inertia. Now only the comparative parameters I have written here, means in case of linear motion, it is the mass, and for the angular motion, it is the mass moment of inertia. The general equation is I k r square m, where r is the radius of rotation, m is the mass, and k is a factor that depends on the geometry of the body or shape or particle, rigid body, whatever it is. Linear momentum, mass into velocity, that is the linear momentum. So equivalent angular momentum is the I into omega, because equivalent of mass in rotation, it is I, and equivalent of velocity in rotation is omega. So equivalent of this angular momentum, L equals to I into omega, and we can prove that L equals to R into P. Means the relation between angular momentum and linear momentum is equals to R times of linear momentum equals to angular momentum. And the force, already I have told you, force means what? As per Newton's law, force causes change of momentum, means rate of change of this momentum, linear momentum, is the force, that is equals to ma. Similarly, in case of angular motion, only mass is not responsible. In the previous lecture, I also have explained that in case of angular motion, instead of force, moment of a force is required. Moment of force is responsible. Here, torque or moment of force is similar things that causes the angular acceleration. So this moment equals to I into alpha. Similar to this one, force that causes linear acceleration equals to mass into acceleration, and here moment that causes angular acceleration, this moment equals to I into angular acceleration. And again, force equals to dp by dt, rate of change of linear momentum p. Similarly, here also, moment equals to rate of change of angular momentum h. Here h and l, same thing. In some books it is used as h, and in some books it is l. So from this equation we can write down that moment equals to r into f. Now, so what is our conclusion? Linear momentum, as we know, that is p equals to m into v, mass into velocity, and the angular momentum is the rotational equivalent of linear momentum. So that is equals to I into omega. L, that is the angular momentum, equals to I into omega. You just write down the equation, general equation. I equals to mr square, sometimes it is k times of mr square into omega. Now again, r divided into r into m and r into omega. Then r into m into this r, omega r equals to velocity, already we have explained it. So finally r into p. So the relation between angular momentum and linear momentum is r times of linear momentum equals to the angular momentum. And the moment of inertia that I told you, I equals to kr square m. So we have the idea of what is angular momentum. So angular momentum is the angular velocity into mass moment of inertia. Now, what's the direction? It's a vector quantity. The angular momentum is written as m into r cross v. It's a cross product of r and v. So what's the direction? Perpendicular to both r and v. Let's consider it's a rigid body, a disc rotating about axis. It's a vertical axis. This is the z axis. It is rotating about this. Then what's the velocity at any point of the rigid body? Let's consider it's a point of the rigid body. We know the direction of linear velocity is continuously changing, and for a particular instant, if the position of the point is here, then the direction of linear velocity is tangential from this point. So this is the direction of v. And direction of the radius vector of that particle of the point of the rigid body is towards the center. So finally, v and r lies on horizontal plane or plane of the disk. And as angular momentum is the cross product of r and v, whereas this mass is the scalar quantity. So for the direction we have to consider r and v. And from the rule of cross product, we know direction of L is perpendicular to both r and v. Now r and v lies on horizontal plane. Let's consider it is the xy plane. So perpendicular to both means it is along z axis. So direction of L is along z axis. Again, what is this omega? It is the angular velocity. It also has a direction. Actually, it's a vector quantity, omega. Like the linear velocity, it is also a vector. What's the direction? For both omega and L, direction is z axis. When it is rotating about z axis. When the disk is rotating about z-axis. Then the direction of omega is along z-axis, and direction of angular momentum is also along z-axis. To know about this direction, we can use the right hand rule. So what's the right hand rule? Let's consider when you fold these fingers like this, then this is the direction of rotation. Then this finger indicates the direction of the angular momentum and the angular velocity. This is the way how you can find out the direction of angular velocity and angular momentum. Now we are going to discuss the conception of mass moment of inertia. Already I have told you, mass moment of inertia is equivalent to mass in case of rotational motion. Now let's consider a number of force is working on a rigid body. Here G indicates the center of gravity of the body. The number of force working on the body, F1, F2, it should be F2, F3, F1, F4, all this. Now, not necessarily that all this force should be same in magnitude and direction. So here it is showing that different direction is there as well as different magnitude maybe. Under the action of the force, it may get a linear acceleration. So in case of linear acceleration, you have to find out the resultant of all this force, means summation of all F. This resultant force, summation of F, equals to ma, as shown here. Mass into acceleration, as per Newton's law. Similarly, all the force individually produce a moment about this center of gravity. And what is the magnitude of this momentum? Say for F1 force, it is F1 into distance of F1 force from G point, and so on. So every force produces a moment of force, and the summation of all the moment of force caused by all the forces equals to this. So under the action of this force, there may exist a resultant force and a resultant moment. Both the resultant moment and resultant force caused by the force, this force only. All this force. Now, these force produce the linear acceleration, and that's why this force equals summation of this force equals to m into a as per Newton's law. Similarly, this moment of force, summation of moment of force, means resultant of all the moment of force, causes the change of angular momentum. Rate of change of angular momentum. Rate. The dot means change of angle. This is the hg means angular momentum, and this is the angular rate of change of angular momentum. Now let's write down the formula. So F equals to ma. We know it. What is this F? This F indicates summation of all the forces. Again, we also know that this A equals to alpha that we have written. Now, what is torque? here torque and this moment is equivalent things. Moment equals to R into F, R cross F. So R into, substitute the value of F, R into M into alpha R. That is equals to M R square alpha. This is the magnitude only. We are not discussing here the direction, the magnitude. And you know, M R square equals to what? I. That we are assuming. Let's consider M R square equals to I. Then this is equals to I alpha. So finally, the torque or moment equals to I alpha. So torque is equivalent to this I. Torque is proportional to this I. And torque equals to I into alpha. So this is the similar equation of this. F equals to M. Here, this I is the mass moment of inertia. For simplicity, we have written I equals to mr square, but actually it is k mr square. In subsequent lecture, we will discuss in details. And we will also find out the value of mass moment of inertia for individual geometry and shape. And as I have told you that the summation of F means summation of force equals to that causes the changes of linear momentum, mass into velocity, and rate of change of this momentum equals to the force, or V dot means the time derivative of V means dv by dt. V dot indicates dv by dt. So m into dv by dt means m into a. Similarly here, summation of this moment of forces equals to time derivative of angular momentum. It is the time derivative of linear momentum and it is the time derivative of angular momentum. That is equals to I into alpha that we have tried. Now, this is the conservation of angular momentum. Conservation of angular momentum means from the Newton's law, you know that the force causes, in case of linear motion, we are well known about linear motion, and we know that force causes change of momentum. Linear momentum means mass into velocity. And change of this momentum, rate of change of this momentum equals to the force. Again, rate of change of linear momentum equals to the force. Now, if no force is applied, then we know that initial and final momentum will remain same. Here also, in case of angular momentum, same momentum conservation law is there. Now, let's consider two rigid body. Same rigid body, it is rotating with angular velocity omega in the xy plane. G is the center of gravity and any other point, that is O. So it may rotate about G about any other point O. But in both the cases, it is rotating with same angular velocity. Now, see, from the previous equations, the angular momentum equals to I into alpha. So, if the angular momentum is measured with respect to the G point, means if the body is rotating about G, then we write H suffix G equals to Ig omega. Again, if the body rotates about O, then it is equals to I0 omega. Point should be noted that this Ig omega and I0 omega, IO omega is not same thing, or the HO and HG is not same thing. It depends on about which axis it is rotating. Again, this H means the angular momentum. So angular momentum, if the body rotates about G, and the angular momentum if the body rotates about O, but same angular speed, then also there is a variation of angular momentum that is not equal. Likewise, what causes these changes of angular momentum? If it is due to the application of external moment, moment of force, then this moment, summation of moment that already we have discussed, the summation of moment equals to rate of change of angular momentum, d into Ig omega. This is the angular momentum, rate of change of this equals to this. Now, this momentum, summation of momentum also not same if the body rotates about G or O. So these are the corresponding equations. Here you notice that in both the cases omega is there, but this Ig value and I0 value is not same. Means for the same object maybe different Ig value is there, mass moment of inertia is there. Means this mass moment of inertia not only depends on the mass of this body, but also depends on the geometry, shape, and about which axis it is rotating. And finally, if you drop this subscript, then in general we can write down the summation of m dt, m into dt equals to d of I into omega. Now, let's consider an interesting observation. We can follow it, that a girl is spinning about axis, vertical axis. See these two figures. What's the difference? That here the hand is straight and here the hands are folded. So what is happening? Due to these two conditions, if no external moment is applied, means he is not giving any effort, but it is she is rotating with omega angular velocity. But only what she is doing? She is folding her hands. So before folding, let's consider capital H is the angular momentum, that is equals to I into omega. After folding, let's consider again angular momentum is H, that is equals to I dash omega dash. So what is I dash? For changing this position of the hands, if the mass moment of inertia changes to I dash and the corresponding after changing the angular velocity is omega dash. Let's consider. But as per previous discussion, the angular momentum will not change. Why not? Because change of angular momentum causes by the application of torque. But she is no external torque she is applying, or she is not giving any effort, means no torque. And we know from this equation summation of m dt, where integration of initial to final, that is equals to d I omega. So that is equals to I omega suffix f minus I omega suffix I. F indicates the final, I indicates the initial condition. And as the moment, external torque or moment, whatever is it, the torque applied here equals to 0. What should we notice? That the torque and momentum are similar things. So moment applied here is 0. Means she is not giving any effort. Then 0 equals to I omega f minus I omega I. And that indicates what? I omega I equals to I omega f. So this is the momentum conservation law. Conservation of angular momentum means angular momentum remains same. So what is the final angular momentum? This. What is the initial angular momentum? I. So in both the cases, I omega, it is the moment of angular momentum is I into omega. Initially it was I and omega, and finally it is I dash into omega dash. This figure. Note that the value of I, as already have told you, it depends on shape. Here, though mass is not changed, mass of her body is not changed, but the shape of the geometry now changed due to the folding of hands, and that's why I will change. As I is changing from I to I dash, and from momentum conservation law, I omega equals to I dash, this initial to final, so omega must be changed. Actually, you will find, if you go through the experiment, you will find that you will rotate with more angular velocity when you are folding hands. These are the references that I have used to prepare these video lectures.
This angular momentum conservation is a very interesting thing, and in Science City you can go there, and there is the rotating disc. You can ride on this and fold and unfold the hand, and you can experience the uh, difference of this change of angular momentum without your effort, whatever. So this is the end of our the present seventh lecture, and in the next lecture we are going to discuss the uh, inertia tensor. So thank you for listening the lecture with your patience. Thank you.